You're listening to the #1 sports show in San Marcos, Scooter and the Hawk.
Good morning, San Marcos. You're tuned into Scooter and the Hawk here on 101.3 KBCR Bobcat Radio. I'm your host, Scooter Fulton, and with me as always is the Hawk, Texas State Bobcat legend, Terry Hawkins. Hawk, we'll just jump right into it. As some of our listening audience may know, last night there was an incident involving the entire football team. Reports are that the whole program went out after an off-season team meeting. They met at a local restaurant where they had dinner and drinks.
Will you get to it already? This ain't a damn romance novel. They got into a fight.
Okay, yeah, they got into a fight. A staff in the restaurant said that the team burst through the doors of the private dining hall and the fight spilled out into the street, and unfortunately, some locals got caught up in all of it and suffered some serious injuries. Hawk, what do you think this means for the program?
Who knows? In my day, we once had a full-out brawl in the locker room. Offense versus defense. We tore the damn place apart. But afterwards, we cleaned it up, shook hands, and kept it in-house. But if this is already out in the media, who knows where it'll end up?
Scooter and the Hawk.
Scoot and the Hawk back with some breaking news here on 101.3 KBCR Bobcat Radio. We just learned that after a months-long investigation, the NCAA ruled that the Texas State Football program lacked complete institutional control and oversight, and that they showed, quote, a disregard for public safety when referencing the fight that occurred earlier this offseason. With that in mind, the NCAA ruled that in order for the Texas State Bobcats to compete at the FBS level in football this year, they will need to clean house, coaches and players.
Gone? Everybody?
It sure looks like that, Hawk. We knew it was going to be bad, but we really had no idea they'd come down this hard.
On the bright side, at least it ain't the death penalty. So where do you think we go from here?
Well, the administration released a statement saying that they will, quote, comply with the ruling of the NCAA. Effective immediately, all players, coaches, and support staff involved with the football program are relieved of their duties and released from their scholarships. A committee will be formed to find the next coach of Texas State University, one who will bring a culture we can both be proud of on and off the field.
Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a long season.
Scooter and the Hawk.
Breaking news here on Scoot and the Hawk, 101.3 KBCR Bobcat Radio. Multiple outlets are now reporting that Texas State administration has secured the next coach of the Bobcats football program. Darrell Dart will be the head man in San Marcos next season.
Darrell Dart? Who the hell is Darrell Dart?
According to his bio, Daryl Dart grew up in Seminole, where he played high school ball and led his team to the state playoffs twice over his career. He was a 4-year backup quarterback at Texas Tech and spent the last 6 years as an offensive analyst under Mike Leach. Our Washington State guys already reached out to us and let us know that Dart was a key asset in finding and evaluating overlooked talent all throughout the Pacific Northwest. The source described him as a, quote, personal, a bright offensive mind, and a great developer of relationships.
But he's never coached.
Yeah, according to his bio, that's correct.
Well, that don't make a lick of sense. If we have a football program in 5 years, I'll be amazed.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Scooter and the Hawk, 101.3 Bobcat Radio.
Scooter and the Hawk.
Thank you for tuning in, Bobcat fans. We have a real treat for you. New Texas State head coach Darrell Dart is with us to talk about the upcoming season and to introduce himself to Bobcat Nation. Coach Dart, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have plenty of time to talk football over the course of the year, but we would first just love to get to know you a little better. Who is Darrell Dart?
Well, I'm a Texas guy, born and raised in Seminole. Go Indians. Played 3 years of varsity quarterback and made it to the playoffs a couple times. Got some looks to play college ball. I wanted to stay close to home, so I went to Lubbock, and I learned from the best damn offensive mind in football.
That brings me to Coach Mike Leach. After college, you stuck by him and became an analyst for several years. What was that experience like?
Coach Leach, he's a genius. How he prepares, how he schemes, how he coaches, how he cares about people. He's great. Going from Texas Tech to Washington State was a move I wouldn't have made for anyone other than Mike Leach. I owe my career to him.
When I played, the game was about toughness, running the ball, making the other team hurt. What are the defining characteristics of how your team will play?
We will certainly value those things. Your physicality, running the ball efficiently, imposing our will. How we get there is a different story. We want to be a crisp, efficient offense that executes at a high level. To do that, you have to be in incredible shape and really disciplined. I mean, to hold up over the course of a game, we got to make sure that the other team feels us, and that might be done through our pace, physicality, or relentless effort, and hopefully all three.
Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about the elephant in the room. But with all of last year's scholarship players being dismissed, who is actually going to be on the team this year?
We're still figuring that out, frankly. I mean, I do know that we're going to field a roster full of guys that want to win, that want to compete, that want to represent their university. We're not going to be the biggest or fastest or most skilled, that's for certain. But we will play with a lot of effort and intensity on every single play. I mean, there's no room for slacking in this program, scholarship or not. Every snap is going to be earned.
I like to hear that, Coach. Obviously, with a team full of walk-ons, you're facing a big uphill battle and need to turn this roster over pretty quickly. How do you guys plan on doing that?
Same way we do everything, with maximum effort and intensity. I mean, look, we know our limitations. We know where this program is at right now. It's our job as coaches to go out and find the guys that we can win with. I mean, this is the best damn high school football playing state in America. There's a tremendous amount of talent in our own backyard. It's on us as a staff to find those kids and sell them on Texas State and San Marcos. Now, we're not going to chase stars. We're going to recruit kids that want to come here, that want to get better. We're a one-star school right now, and we got to prove to the kids that we're better than that. And when we do, we'll get bigger names and people get more excited. But until then, we're getting our guys in here, and we're going to coach them up, and we're going to play good football.
Last thing, Coach, we know you're a Mike Leach disciple, so we assume that you're running some sort of air raid. But can you explain what your offense and defense are going to look like this year?
There are definitely going to be a lot of air raid principles. Quick passing game, winning in space, working out of the shotgun. I think we'll run the ball more than Coach Leach did. Nobody tell him I said that, though. But we're going to control the tempo with a short passing game, which will lighten the box so we can run the ball, the quarterback included. And on defense, we're going to play an attacking 3-3-5. I feel like today's game is played in space more than ever, and you need your best athletes playing as confident, as loose, and as fast as possible in order to succeed against a lot of these spread offenses.
Thanks for coming on, Coach. Come back anytime.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Go Bobcats.
Big thanks to Coach Daryl Dart for joining us here on 101.3 KBCR. Hawk, first impressions?
He's a nice guy, but lots of nice guys get eaten alive by this profession. I'm holding my judgment till we see the product on the field.
That's perfectly reasonable, but I do say I feel better after speaking to him today.
Call me a pessimist, but I don't have much hope.
Scooter and the Hawk.
Welcome back to 101.3 KBCR Bobcat Radio. You're listening to Scooter and the Hawk. And Hawk, we are just a few days away from our first live look at this year's squad with our first-year head coach, Darrell Dart. He's going to be newly patrolling the sidelines here in San Marcos. I don't know if I'd call it exciting, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we ain't got any goddamn idea what kind of team we're putting out there. We don't know who's going to be on offense, who's on defense. We don't know how far the damn quarterback can throw the ball. It's a total black hole out there, and I think if you're smart, you won't put a lot of stock in it, because whole team walk-ons ain't gonna be good.
Well, there's only one way to find out, folks, and that's to head out to Bobcat Stadium this Saturday. The gates open at noon, and the kickoff should be around 1. It'll be interesting. We'll see what kind of team we're going to field to compete in the Sun Belt this year and moving forward, and really see what this new coaching staff is all about. We're going to see a new-look offense, a new-look defense, and hopefully some energy on the sidelines, as you know they had grown pretty stagnant here in San Marcos the last few years until this new regime. Speaking of which, we're going to welcome Coach Daryl Dart onto the show to kind of talk about what we should expect, where the depth chart is shaken out, and what people who come to Bobcat Stadium on Saturday need to keep an eye out for. We're going to go to Daryl Dart right now. Coach, how are you, sir?
Hey guys, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're happy to have you on. I think the first thing we want to do is kind of talk about the team, talk about the new faces. Obviously, everybody on the team is going to be a new face this year. Who should we know? Who should we be looking out for? Who are the guys that you expect in the first year to make an impact?
Well, I think like most college football programs, we're going to go as far as our quarterback's going to take us. We've decided to settle on Adam Roden. I believe that last name will sound familiar. His brother Jacob was a quarterback here and got kind of caught up in everything that happened last season. Was probably going to be the starter coming into this year, so I was told. But Adam's no slouch. He's a big kid at 6'5", 222. He's got a big time athlete. You know, he's fast for the position. He's big. He's strong. His arm is going to need to improve, but you know that's what we're here for. We're going to coach him up. He's wanted to play football here all his life and didn't get a chance coming out of high school, and well, he Man, he sure does now, and I'd love to see him grab the reins and take hold. But he's going to be thrown to some good skill position guys. Going through Casey Moore, big freshman, 6'3", 209. He's got really good speed. He's catching the ball really well in camp this year. Need to see him improve on his hands. Rob Culp at 6'1", 196, fastest guy on the team, and he's hopefully can put that to use on the outside. Got a couple really good tight ends. Between Terry Koch and Reggie Young. One of them, is a prototypical blocker, another one's a receiver, so they're going to be mix and matching on the offense there. Clay Glover is going to be our do-it-all halfback. He's solid between the tackles, can bounce it outside, and it is pretty good in the pass game as well. We're really excited for him. Also, Maurice Lowe, big freshman, and another big guy, 6'2", really quick, got some good speed as well. Excited to see how he's going to contribute long term. And then finally, James McDowell is going to kind of round out that unit, another big receiver at 6'3". So we're hoping a lot of these guys can really come on. And defensively, like I said, we're going to play in a 3-3-5. We feel like that suits our personnel as well, starting with Steve Goodman, probably our best defender. He and Leo Stevens are going to be our top two guys that are anchored in the back end, both freshmen as well. Some real talent on the defensive line. Isaac Jackson, he's hopefully going to be a terror off the edge this year, as will Brian Marshall. We'd love to see those guys live in the backfield. We're going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Mark Terry is going to be our sort of anchor on the second level. And hopefully, he gets clean because of our third lineman, Antonio Wright, a guy who's going to play the run real well, get off blocks. And Mike Spencer is, arguably been the leader at camp so far. Linebacker with good speed, good pursuit. And in the secondary, Matt Wilson has been one of our best players all camp long, and we're really excited to hopefully shut down half the field with him.
Thank you so much, Coach Dart, for coming on with us today to break down the roster and give people an idea of what to expect when they come out and watch you. And the first game of your head coaching career against Navy, once again, that's going to be this Saturday, kickoff around 1 p.m. Coach Dart, best of luck this weekend, and hopefully we'll talk to you after a big win.
Sure thing, guys. Go Bobcats.
That was Coach Daryl Dart here on 101.3 KBCR Bobcat Radio. Hawk, we're only a few days away from the first game of Coach Dart's career against Navy, this triple option offense. Something a little unorthodox. You don't see it all the time. How do you see this weekend shaking out?
All right, guys, all I'm going to tell you is you need to limber up, because I suspect by halftime we're going to be bent over.
Gee, hey, Hawk, you can't say that on the radio, Hawk.
I am an unfiltered fountain of truth.
Saturday morning, 7:30, Bobcat Stadium will be there. Come by, give us a Hawk squawk. You'll be entered to win like a t-shirt or something. It's going to be a long year, folks.
Scooter and